What's up, Narwhals? In this video, I'm going to introduce Aiden Graves' The Case of the Smashed Snacks. But first, let me talk about why I made this thing. So I noticed a couple years ago, whenever I started talking about TDAs, text dependent analysis, a lot of my students would cringe. And I get it. It's not the funnest thing you could be doing. It requires a lot of focus, but it's really, really important, especially if you're in a state like ours where text dependent analysis is the most important writing piece you could do this year. So, all my students don't really like doing text dependent analysis, even though it's really important and we have to. I thought, well, is there a fun way that we can practice the text dependent analysis skills without actually doing it? And what I came up with was this mystery. So, in this mystery, you are going to solve what happened one afternoon at a middle school, Marsh Middle School, when a crime occurred. You're going to read through it, you're going to try to figure out who's lying to you and what details are important, and you're going to connect everything that you identify as text evidence with a page number, just like in a TDA. So, in short, this is supposed to be a really fun way, or at least the funnest possible way, to practice some TDA skills, which are really important if you want to score high for standardized tests. Here's a basic introduction of how this is going to work. The very first thing you have to do is read the introduction of the mystery, and I'm going to read it for you at the end of this video. It's the only page I'm going to read for you. Then, after you hear the introduction and find out what's going on, you're going to visit students and teachers and locations, and you're going to review artifacts from the school building. You're going to start gathering clues, and that's going to be all the information that you need to crack the case. And by the way, anything you need to solve this case is in the mystery. You don't have to go externally. It's all text dependent in the mystery. You're going to gather those clues. You're going to take notes while you're going. You pretty much need to annotate and take notes to figure this out. There's an evidence guide in the back of the book that you could use to collect your thoughts also, but annotating on the page and in the back of the book will help you solve this. I also suggest, if your teacher allows it, that you team up with a detective partner. The main benefit of this is that explaining your ideas to someone else will show you the strengths and weaknesses when you have to verbalize them. Just make sure you're only talking to your detective partner and nobody else. And finally, the last thing I suggest is that you read and reread. Important details may not stick out to you the first time that you read this, because you might read something in the later half of the mystery that changes the way you think about something in the early half of the mystery. Overall, your mission is going to be to figure out who smashed the snacks, what was their motive, and how did they do it. The second thing you want to think about is who else you considered as a serious suspect and why you seriously considered them. By the way, characters are definitely going to lie to you, but that doesn't mean that they committed the crime. They might have some other reason to lie. Third, you're going to work on the whodunit page and the detective quiz questions at the end of the packet. The whodunit page focuses on who you think the culprit is, the person that committed the crime, and the detective quiz questions are just little questions to make sure that you didn't miss anything throughout the mystery. Also, since you're doing all this text-dependent analysis, there's a guide in the back of this packet to help you write a text-dependent analysis essay based off of this mystery. Yo guys, if you really want to solve this mystery, you got to pay attention to this part: means, motive, and opportunity. The kids that don't, they're probably not going to be the ones that solve this mystery, but if you do, you might be. So means, motive, and opportunity are things that detectives look for in order to solve a crime. It's like putting different pieces of a jigsaw together, and if you have it all, you might actually have the culprit and know what happened. First thing is means. Means is the tools or the things or the stuff that a bad guy, a culprit, uses in order to commit a crime. Think of it as how the person committed the crime. Motive, this is the reason that the person, the bad guy, the culprit, did the crime. You might hear motivation in there. What motivated them to do that? It's like asking, why would they even do that crime? Because most people wouldn't just commit a crime for no reason. So we have means, motive, and the last one, opportunity. Opportunity is basically the chance to commit the crime. Having a chance or opportunity to do it that isn't in plain view of everybody else, because if everybody saw it, then we'd know who did the crime. So you need to identify means, motive, opportunity. So let's put that all together like a jigsaw puzzle. When we're detectives, we look for clues about how the mystery happened, the means, why somebody might do it, the motive, and why they could have done it, the opportunity. It's like putting together pieces of the puzzle you see behind me. There's definitely other directions you should read about in the packet or that your teacher might talk to you, but I'm excited. We're going to dive into the introduction. I'm going to read you the first part of this mystery, and then I'm pretty much just going to let you go. After I'm done reading, you could go to the table of contents to look at different pages to go to, like the scene of the crime. You should probably go there next. But afterwards, you could interview different teachers, interview different students. You could look at different school artifacts like maps and bell schedules. I'm going to read you the introduction. I suggest you then go to the scene of the crime. But then after that, you can go anywhere in the school you want. You might even want to go back to a location to confirm or recheck a detail. So I'm going to read you the intro. That's the only thing I'm reading you. After that, you're on your own to explore and try to solve this case. Page 3, the introduction. The loudspeaker blared. Aiden Graves, please report to Vice Principal Bulkhead's office. Must be another case, Aiden thought, as he diverted from his route to history class and stopped at his locker. He exchanged his history binder for a well-worn, nearly filled, pocket-sized notebook. Vice Principal Bulkhead waited at the door of his office and ushered Aiden into the padded chair across from the enormous desk. Untidy piles of paper, post-it notes, and a half-eaten bagel cluttered the desk's surface. Bulkhead attempted to tidy the mess before sitting down and giving Aiden a frustrated look. Aiden, I need your help again, said Bulkhead. Someone destroyed all of the snacks we were supposed to sell at today's football game. Principal Lindsay put me in charge of figuring it out. I checked everything this morning and have no idea who did it. All I've narrowed it down to is that it must have happened near hallway B. Principal Lindsay will be very upset with me if I don't find the culprit. Can you put your detective skills to work to try to solve this? With wide eyes and a tight smile, Aiden responded, I'd be happy to help. That is, for the usual payment. Mr. Bulkhead nodded quietly and retrieved a stack of 5 get out of homework free passes from a locked drawer in his desk. Aiden leaped to his feet, whipped his detective's notebook out of his pocket, and exclaimed, I'll take the case. All right, text detectives, that is it. Now you are free to investigate this case. I suggest you go to the scene of the crime. That's probably a good place to start. But then after that, you can visit any teacher or any location or check out artifacts from the school, like a transcript of the announcements or the bell schedule. You can take a look at all that and try to piece together what actually happened and who is lying to you. You're going to get to the end of this and there won't be an ending. It's just going to kind of end. You got to figure out the ending. And in a few weeks, your teacher will reveal the very last page of this, which will tell you what actually happened. So keep an eye on means, mode of opportunity, read and reread, annotate. If you're allowed to, talk to your detective friends to have to verbalize your ideas and make sure they make sense. Good luck with the case of the Smash Snacks. I really, truly hope that you have the most fun you've ever had doing text-dependent analysis.